Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jake the Fate, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a review and demo on this Squier contemporary Telecaster. Alright, so here I have the Squier Telecaster Contemporary series, and it's not like a typical Telecaster. And I've had a couple of Telecasters on this channel, and most of them are not even traditional Telecasters that you would normally associate with a Telecaster. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this to the workbench, and I'm going to show you guys spec by spec what this guitar brings, all the cool features it has. Then I'm going to give you guys a little demo, and then give you guys my final thoughts on this guitar. All right, so this body here, it's a poplar body with a roasted maple neck. And I'm actually going to get into the neck because the way they actually roast these, right? What they do is they'll take the maple neck, a regular maple neck, and they'll put it into an oven, right? And then, they'll look at it and they'll just start, spitting some like diss tracks at it and just start roasting the hell out of it, saying, your mama this, your mama that. And, that's how roasted maple necks get roasted. No, but seriously, all they really do is just, put it into an oven and they roast it. You have to think about it. Maple necks come from, maple trees. So there's a lot of like moisture and there's a lot of syrup and stuff. They have to like extract all that. And, having it's very beneficial. Having a roasted maple neck is beneficial if you guys live in a place that's very high humidity. Now, why would you want a roasted maple neck? The reason why you would want a roasted maple neck is if you live in a place where it's like very high humidity, where the temperature goes up and down. The reason why they actually roast these necks is so there's no moisture that goes into it and no moisture that can come out of it. So, it's not going to shrink or contract or anything's going to be moving around. Or let's say you're like traveling or something. You go from one state to another state where it's very high humidity or very low. If you guys ever like take your guitar and you go to like a different state and, once you left your place, it's like perfect. And you go to, let's say, me, for example, I would go from New York to North Carolina and my necks would just be completely like buzzing everywhere. And that's because the humidity level is a lot different down there. So yeah, having a roasted maple neck is very, very cool and very beneficial to have. The scale length of this guitar is a 25.5-inch scale length with a 42mm nut. And this is an actual Graphtec nut. So it's pretty good quality right here. You got 22 jumbo frets here, especially on a Telecaster. That's pretty rare, like Telecasters and Strats. It's rare to have jumbo frets. So having this, if you guys are a metal player, having this is awesome. The fretboard radius is 12 inches, so it's it's pretty flat. It's not super flat like a 14 or anything, but it's at the right spot. And it's a C-shaped neck, so it's pretty pretty thin. Most Telecasters do have a thin neck, so I'm a huge fan of the Tele necks. Black binding that goes around the entire neck. Also black binding that goes around the entire body over here. So the color on this specific guitar is a gunmetal metallic color. It's got some nice sparkle to it. It's kind of like a greenish, grayish, bluish, different angles. It looks like a different color, but yeah, the color of it is just gunmetal metallic. They also have like a Shoreline gold, I think they call it. And then they also have a pearl white color. So, just so you guys know. So in terms of electronics here, you have one master volume, one master tone, 3-way selector switch, one humbucker neck pickup, and a dual rail or rail humbucker on the bridge position. And you get no pick guard, which I actually prefer not to have a pick guard on the Telecasters. I don't know, for some reason, to me personally, it looks a lot better without a pick guard. So now all I'm going to do is take the strings off and show you guys what's under here. All right, so these pickups here, they call them their SQR atomic humbucker and atomic rail humbucker pickup. So, nothing special with this pickup right here. That's what this pickup looks like. I don't know if this thing is wax or not. It is a tiny bit microphonic. And then this is the dual rail one. Ceramic right there. So I want to point something out right here, guys. With this guitar, when I first got it, it was making a horrible, horrible grounding sound. You know, I checked everything. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but I was getting a grounding issue with the bridge. Like every single time I was touching it, it's just like a constant buzz. Remember the Harley Benson guitars were making the same thing. So what I did was basically I took this thing off and I realized that this was causing a problem right here. So I just took some sandpaper and just scraped off some of the paint right here, and, you know, it just solved everything. So if you guys are having that same issue with this guitar, recommend you guys just, you know, taking some sandpaper or something, scraping this off, just so you guys don't have any grounding problems. Just, you know, take some sandpaper and just scrape that off right there. Yeah, that was one little issue that I found with this guitar. So I'm pretty sure most of them are going to have it if they're not, you know, scraped off or anything. So right here we have, you know, pretty standard stuff that, you know, aren't super high quality. You know, you have these like dime-sized potentiometers. You got the little circuit board, three-way selector switch right there. And you guys can actually coil split this neck pickup if you guys want to. That gray one's the neck pickup, and the really thin one is the bridge. You know, nothing super crazy there. And the hardware on this is like a satin black, which is really nice. You know, I prefer, you know, this kind of color. You got these knurled knobs, very high quality. You know, they feel pretty good. Now there is no conductive painting on none of the insides of this. Now a little trick that I like to do, I know most people use like the shielding tape, or they buy the actual conductive paint, but something that I like to do is just grab a 9-volt battery and yeah, and basically just open it up and take all the graphite that's in here, and with some black paint, just, you know, mix it up and then just paint the inside of this. And you know it's conductive when it starts to like, yeah, but that's what I usually do. Mix it with some black paint and just paint the inside of this so I can not have any grounding problems. All right, so now let's just take a quick reading of these pickups. So on the neck position, you have 9.57 k ohms, and on the bridge position, you have 11.77 k ohms. And then in the middle, you have both of them together is 5.40 k ohms. So, you know, it's a pretty hot pickup for a bridge position, and then, you know, somewhat okay for the neck position, which is normally around there, around 8, 9. So this is the headstock over here. You have a typical, you know, Telecaster headstock, you know, matches the body, the color matches the body. You get one string tree right here for your E and B string right there. And you get the split shaft for the tuners. And this right here is like a metallic silver decal, but you actually can't even feel it. Like, you can see that it kind of like raises, but you don't feel it at all. So there's a lot of clear coat on this thing. And this is polyester clear coat that's on this guitar. So on the back side over here, there's not really much going on. It is a string through body, so, you know, the strings go through the back over here. And you've got this nice belly cut over here. You know, it's not like most Telecasters where it's just like all just, you know, squared off over here. And over here, you guys actually got a contoured heel cut right there, which is awesome. You know what I mean? This is the back of the headstock over here. This guitar is crafted in China, so it's a Chinese guitar. It still plays great. Made in 2021. I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but and these guitars are really great. You know, the Contemporary series are basically meant for like metal players. It's like more of a modern, spec'd up kind of guitar for like the modern player. So, you know, me personally, you know, I love all kinds of guitars. So all I'm gonna do now is put everything back together, string it up, and give you guys a little quick demo, and then I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts on this guitar. All right, so there it is, the Squier Contemporary Telecaster. Like I said, this guitar is extremely awesome. I actually got this guitar from one of my good friends, Edward, who I met on the Facebook market. And, you know, I bought in a couple guitars from him in the past. I got in Jackson Soloist, a couple Jacksons. But, yeah, I got this one. And extremely awesome. Like I said, the features on this guitar are extremely awesome. You know, it's just weird to see, you know, a humbucker up here and then, you know, a single coil. Even though it's like a humbucker dual rail thing on the bridge, it's kind of weird just to see it like that. You know, it's kind of like my OCD just wants to like flip it. But, you know, this specific color looks amazing, especially with the black accents. It looks really nice. Again, now having that roasted maple neck, you guys don't have to worry about it shrinking or contracting because it's already basically dry, it's roasted. You don't have to worry about your neck shrinking or any of that. The belly cut back here, you know, super awesome. You know, because most Telecasters, they're just like blocked up and, you know, they're really thick and they can be kind of annoying to play. You know, and I'm a huge fan of the Telecasters. I've already said that in a couple of videos in the past. When I did the Schecter Machine Gun Kelly guitar, you know, I absolutely love that guitar. The Harley Benson Telecaster, also another great guitar. A couple of things you should look out for, like I said, the grounding of the bridge, you know, because when I first started playing, I was just hearing and I'm like, you know, I took it apart and I'm like trying to figure it out what it was. And then I kind of remembered the Harley Benson guitars and I'm like, oh, if this thing's black and coated, maybe that could be the problem. So like what I did, I just, you know, took some sandpaper and just scraped off some of the paint, took everything right away. So, you know, things like that, you know, look out for. And you guys can do that little conductive paint battery thing that I showed you guys just to make it a little bit more secure. Now these pickups, like I said, they aren't the greatest pickups. You know, they are ceramic. They're obviously the cheaper end of pickups. Pickups, like I always say, they're pickups. They're always going to get the job done. Now, if you're trying to go for a specific tone and you're very like anal about that, then yeah, you know, I guess, you know, you would want to swap them out. This little dual rail kind of did surprise me, you know, because I've never really used them and I've only used the Marzios. And I'm not a huge fan of DiMarzios. I'm not trying to say that they're garbage or anything. I just don't like how they sound. You know, I was kind of expecting that, but it really surprised me how much better it sounded than the actual neck pickup. The neck pickup sounded a little too dull. I don't know if you guys heard it in the demo at the end where I was playing on the neck and then I jumped to the bridge. I kind of did that on purpose so I can hear the difference. You know, I was playing the same thing. I was just switching back and forth. And, you know, I can actually hear the difference, how much low output this one obviously has. You know, it is only like 8 k ohms and this one's like 11, around there. But still, it surprised me, you know, because, you know, I was just thinking about the DiMarzio ones and I was never really a fan of those. So, you know, it really did surprise me. Obviously, you can swap these out if you want to. But at the end of the day, you know, it sounds good to me. You know, it really did surprise me how heavy it sounded. You know, and these guitars, they're not too expensive. You know, they're like mid-range. They're like around $500 brand new. But you can obviously get yourself a used one for like $300, maybe $250. You know, highly recommend you guys trying to get one of these because they're awesome guitars. So again, I want to thank you guys for coming back to my channel, watching my videos, and, you know, just leaving me awesome comments like always. You know, I highly, really appreciate it. I really appreciate it, guys, because it motivates me to really want to do more videos and help you guys. That's the whole reason why I did this channel, is because I want to know what this guitar looks like, you know, what's inside of it, what it sounds like, the specs and stuff, especially on metal guitars, because there's not a lot of channels that do that. So, you know, that's what I do here on this channel. If you guys like what I do, like, comment, subscribe, because that's all I do on this channel. I did get a lot of comments on a lot of my videos about the Floyd Rose, you know, the different Floyd Roses, like licensed, originals, specials, and 1500s, 1000s. And I'm going to show you guys, you know, everything about the Floyd Rose, just because I got a lot of people asking me questions about that. So stay tuned for that video. And with that, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one.